program time.
Yo, mis saludos y respetos. Mich Panseco Tlop Deshba. Greetings to all my gente out there. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. First and foremost, muchas gracias for the view. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys sometimes dropping a comment and saying cubo. Whether if it's good or bad criticism, it don't matter. That shit don't bother me. Can't take nothing personal in life. Anyhow. Well, today we're going to talk about the LA Dodgers. There's big history behind those men in blue. What's up, my boy? This is my boy Dodger right here. Yeah. Stopping by Cubo. Alright, Papa. I'll take you outside right now. Okay. Doing a video, man. Yeah, the Dodgers? Yeah. Okay, I know that's your team. Yeah, we all go for the Dodgers. Okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's my boy Dodger. Anyhow. The Dodgers have very, very deep history. They go way, way back. They started off in New York and ended up coming to LA. They took over the Chavez Ravine. That's what it was called back then. Before Dodger Stadium was built upon that hill. Anyhow, a lot of people dislike the Dodgers because they say that they left a lot of people homeless, which was not true. A lot of people were forced to move out because at the last minute they didn't want to give up the land. But I think there was some type of deal, you know, and they were giving housing. You know, come on, who's gonna leave them on the street? I mean, but hey, whether they were left on the street or not, we don't know right now. But stay tuned because I'm gonna lace you up with some history. I'm gonna let you know facts. That's right. Think blue, bleed blue, heaven is blue. Yes, sir. I know there's people that hate the Dodgers because of this reason. Personally, I know someone that does. They hate the Dodgers because supposedly they left people homeless. But that right there is not true. Just keep it real. You got a different team. And I mean, I could respect that. Anyhow, stay tuned, por favor. Go get your snack, your drink, your medicina before you get bipolar on me. That's right. Let's get ready, man. Hopefully, I'm able to educate you, enlighten you, and give you a little different point of view of the Dodgers coming over to LA. Yes, sir. So, with that said, enjoy.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, I sure remember my first game at Dodger Stadium, just like if it was yesterday. Growing up, my eyes were set on baseball. As I started to learn more about the MLB, I was knowledgeable of the local teams and rivals. I remember my Tío Tony took me to my first Dodger game. I was like 8, 9 years old, very excited to witness a live game. Getting ready for a game, I wanted a Dodger hat so bad I kept asking for a LA hat, but nothing came my way. My Tío and I got off the car as we were making way into Dodger Stadium. He extended a blue hat. Oh yeah, I was happy. He even put the hat on me and said, "Mijo, now you can represent proudly." So I took a good look at the hat. Yeah, it was blue, but it said, "I love Jesus." Híjole, I never forget that. I didn't argue, nor show any discomfort. I just went with the flow. At the end of the day, I was at Dodger Stadium. Oh yeah. Throughout the years, I grew up learning how to be a Dodger fan. From players to championships. Could never forget 1988 when we won the World Series. Can't never forget sitting at my grandma's house in front of the TV, surrounded by uncles, cousins, family, and just cheering up the game, hoping for a championship. After so many years, we always made it to the top, but somehow we just ended up losing. Boy, I'll tell you, it felt so good to finally win a championship. 2020 was our year. That's right. But with that, a lot of haters came out.
Oh no!
And one of them was my stepdad. And I always wondered, why would he hate the Dodgers so much, making all these rude comments? Till finally we sat down and he explained to me the Chavez Ravine situation. Chavez Ravine is a shallow L-shaped canyon in Los Angeles, California. It sits in a large promontory of hills north of downtown Los Angeles. Chavez Ravine was named for Julian Chavez, a Los Angeles councilman in the 19th century who originally purchased the land in the Elysian Park area. Chavez Ravine was made up of the three mostly Mexican American communities of La Loma, Palo Verde, and Bishop. Through a vote, the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles, with the assistance of federal funds from the Housing Act of 1949, was designated and taxed to construct public housing, in large part to address the severe post-World War II housing shortage. Prominent architects Richard Neutra and Robert Alexander developed a plan for Elysian Park Heights. The city had already relocated many of the residents of Chavez Ravine when the entire project came to a halt. Some residents continued to resist, despite the pressure being placed upon them by the developers, resulting in a battle of Chavez Ravine, unsuccessful 10-year struggle by a small number of remaining residents of Chavez Ravine to maintain control of their property after the substantial majority of the area had been transferred to public ownership. Before construction of the Elysian Park Heights project could begin, the local political climate changed greatly when Norris Poulsen was elected mayor of Los Angeles in 1953. Poulsen opposed the provision of public housing, claiming that it was un-American, and support for projects like the Elysian Park Heights faded away. Yup, it wasn't meant to be. May 8, 1959, it was called Black Friday. On that day, unfortunately, a group of sheriff's deputies arrived at the home of the Arriaga family, one of the neighborhood's few remaining families. The city had finally come to evict the stragglers. I wouldn't call them that. The officers walked up the stairs of the Arriaga home and then kicked the door in and forced their way into the living room. They brought along movers to quickly break apart and bring out the family's furniture piece by piece. Well, at least they were kind enough to pack their stuff. So the elderly were escorted out. One woman was dragged, kicked, and the kids complained and cried. What a sad situation, huh? As she was screaming, They grabbed her by her arms and legs, out the door, down the stairs by 4 deputies, one 66-year-old lady, the leader of her family, threw rocks at the sheriff's deputies as they went about the business. "Why don't they play ball at the mayor's backyard?" she shouted in Spanish. 10 minutes later, the roar of 2 giant bulldozers were destroying Miss Arteaga's house. She was crying as she sat on the curb and watched the machine take down a piece of her corazón. Television news crews captured the commotion. It was breaking news all over town. The Arteagas were on the front page of a local newspaper. The headline read, "Chavez Ravine family evicted." What a sad situation. Nevertheless, for the next week, the Arteagas camped in front of the rumble that was once their home. So, by 1958, the public housing plans were abandoned, and the land was conveyed by the city to the Brooklyn Dodgers to entice them to move to Los Angeles. The new plans were advanced to construct Dodger Stadium on the site, and in 1959, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department forcefully removed the last residents occupying Chavez Ravine. So with that said, as far as the housing project being eliminated, then here came the Brooklyn Dodgers with plans to make a stadium on that infamous Chavez Ravine. Following the baseball referendum promoted by the Taxpayers Committee for Yes on Baseball, which was approved by Los Angeles voters on June 3, 1958, the city made the controversial decision to trade 352 acres of land at the Chavez Ravine to the Brooklyn Dodgers and the team's owner Walter O'Malley in exchange for land around the minor leagues park, Wrigley Field, with the aim of providing incentives for migration to Los Angeles. From their arrival in Los Angeles in 1958 until 1961, the Dodgers played their home games at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Dodger Stadium officially opened in 1962. The Brooklyn Dodgers were a Major League Baseball team, active primarily in the National League, founded in 1876 from 1884 until 1957, after which the club moved to Los Angeles, California, where it continues its history as the Los Angeles Dodgers. The team moved west at the same time as its longtime rival, the New York Giants, also in the National League, relocated to San Francisco in Northern California as the San Francisco Giants. The Dodgers owner was so hated by the Brooklyn Dodger fans after he moved to California that it was said, if you ask a Brooklyn Dodger fan if you had a gun with only 2 bullets in it and were in a room with Hitler, Stalin, and O'Malley, who would you shoot? The answer, O'Malley twice. Bam, bam. Walter O'Malley, who gained full control over the Dodgers organization in 1950, orchestrated the deal that eventually led to the construction of the Dodger Stadium in Chavez Ravine between 1959 and 1962. O'Malley instantly had much success with multiple World Series appearances and 1 World Series championship during the 1950s, while also breaking the color barrier with Jackie Robinson in April 1947. Today, half all Los Angeles Dodger fans are Latino. The majority of those Latino fans are of Mexican descent, according to a spokesperson of the team. But the relationship between the Dodgers and its Mexican American fans had a dark beginning. A very bitter legacy was left for many years between Mexican American communities and the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is a legacy of conflict upon which Dodger Stadium was built upon. The explosion of the team's Latino fandom is usually attributed to one moment, the signing of Fernando Valenzuela in 1979. That's the year I was born. Valenzuela was a humble 20-year-old pitcher from Sonora, Mexico, who few people had heard of, but he quickly developed into the team's unhittable ace. He led the Dodgers to a World Series win in 1981, and the fans of Mexican descent flocked to the Dodger Stadium to catch a glimpse of Valenzuela, a superstar in who they could finally see themselves. One wonders how watching this celebration felt to the aging residents of the former Chavez Ravine, whose homes, schools, churches are buried under the stadium in its parking lot. Many aging Angelinos who lived through the violent confrontations over the land upon which Dodger Stadium was built remain embittered toward the team. On the other hand, most of their kids became Dodger fans. One can sit there and argue and justify the actions of the Dodgers' ambitions. The owner had a vision. He had a plan all along. And if it would have been for his vision, his ambition, we would have never had blue heaven on earth. What a painful story. I told my stepdad after he elaborated on this unforgettable history. Now I know why he holds a little grudge towards the Dodgers. But hey, moving forward, with all respect to the loved ones and families that suffered and went through the unforgettable experiences of being humiliated and pushed out of their beautiful homes, I extend my respects and I tip my hat for that courage. But now, here we are in the present moment, witnessing Dodger Blue, heaven on earth. We are the champions. We are the LA Dodgers. Champion. World champions 2020. 2021, here we come. 2022, here we come. Can't stop, won't stop, Dodger Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, or comment. Much love and respect to Chavez Ravine, all Dodger fans. Much love and respect. Have a blessed day.
Count time, win, dog.